Me pacho mo kai say Kpandai by election be general election of 2024 ye kwa about when we no na mentime ho ase bi about Kpandai di no because NDC believes say about one nipa ohwe about one so no collation no ye no wanye ni yie and after election no NDC di aba no e call Tamale High Court ne tena city sense munum no enema ye court so ho say one collation officer and instead so be collation e o Kpandai ho ye to aba no da bi ondo ko ye collation e o Tamale ono nko an de ko ye ni collation wa ma obi amane as against here 127 section 43 ABCDEF ni nyane se me ho nyane papa ide se da bi ono anya ne sento ono nko a fa abato no de call Tamale ko ye collation de bai no de bai ni police station bi wo ko ti man over 1400 votes se nipa to aba ho no nipa over 1400 meanwhile pay easy sisi mu no police station bi anywhere na nipa no boro I think say 800 e bi ni ho sa enti court ni tie nsem na court ni se da bi akwa we e nipa fon why azan why katasumi mi aso bi wo ho nti enya de a niema na wakeka aka no metie e pa cha obinim na after that no and this is what actually happened. NDC lawyer now or representing NDC case no mamemo asempotia after Tamale court no o kan ye emfanchiro eno mo be ma the vivid explanation of adekurobia e course o wie no tanko computer enso kasai me wi amebo tanko computers also own e dey achiro pa cho tie nsem NDC lawyer no e kan ye.
Now what is important and that why this case is significant is that at every district election collation center, there are certain rights that are preserved for the candidates. Now, when the polling station closes, you move to the district collation center, and that's the parliamentary collation center, and certain things can be done there, including asking for a recount of even the polling station. Now, when you say that there are disturbances at the collation center, the law is clear that you either adjourn it to the next day or you can adjourn it even for a week. But you don't relocate the district or redesignate the collation center without notice to the participating candidates. And then you, when you are brought to court, decide that you are going to support one side against the other, making allegations that the petitioner was involved in busing hooligans to the place to come and destroy property and also to engage in acts which were inconsistent with the election laws. When the district election officer was put in the box, he could not even point one, even his own videos, to show that indeed the petitioner had done any of those things. So clearly, our point was very simple. The failure to notify the petitioner of the relocation and redesignation of the collation center meant that clearly there was no way he could have participated in the collation and to be able to exercise his rights, which included serious irregularities which we brought to the court. So in the fairness of the entire thing, including the ample evidence that there was complete destruction of the biometric verification system and all that, the only alternative would be to rerun the election. And so we are very happy that the court has ordered that within 30 days, the election should be rerun. The power and the sovereignty lies with the people. It is for them to decide who their MP is. And you cannot be a beneficiary of such an incident and call yourself an MP. That is out of the question. So the alleged MP, who has now been clearly exposed as not being the MP elect, was a beneficiary of a rigged system by the district election officer. And I will appeal to the petitioner and the NDC election committee to ensure that that district election officer does not return back to that position, because he can cause mayhem in this country if he's allowed.
Exactly. It's a returning officer. When you are cause mayhem in Ghana. By him say now that was the only thing NPP for no more. They colluded with EC officials. And abato ye massage no. Doctor computer tanko so after that Tamale High Court ruling no. TNSM poti also do etuja.
All along, the NDC has been saying that there are several crooked electoral officers who are bent on stealing people's mandate. And one of these is what has been exposed today. We said it time and again that the seat of Kpandai was the seat for the NDC. They rigged the election, and we've been saying the time and again that we will continue to expose crooked electoral officers who will continue to rig election. We will stop them. We will make sure that the NDC will prevent such rigging machinery of the then NPP and their crooked collaborators in the Electoral Commission. Clearly, the CI 127, if you look at Regulation 43, 1A up to H, spell out how collation of parliamentary election is done. You collect results based on two forms. We have Form 1C and then Form 1D. You assemble the results in the Form 1C and then put the summaries on Form 1D and declare the results. This was not done. They didn't do that. They just organized themselves, ran to Tamale, cooked some results, and announced Nyindam as a parliamentary candidate elect. This is what they did. And that is why we made sure that we follow through the process. The NDC is the most lawful political party in Ghana. We didn't use lawless means to get this verdict. We made sure that we follow through the process, and we have gotten favorable judgment.
Exactly. So this was after Tamale High Court and making ruling. And now Dr. Amadou computer, and so I can't answer way. Also, easy officials, and some of them are crooked. Or my being as I be money with him to send a lawyer and a kind. They will cause mayhem in the society. Now, as I'm court ruling, Speaker of Parliament, declared that particular system vacant. Emma court no say easy inquiry ran in that particular constituency. NPP for someone say, and then they took the matter to court on legalities. But your legalities. The legalities being said, per the laws of Ghana, say to Aba, member of parliament, until 21 days within which you need to file at the High Court. But you underline 21 days. Now, near course, Ghana in 2024 election, many people didn't notice it. Easy, a gazette 2 different dates. The first one was, I think, on the 24th of December 2024. You talk about it on 24th. Easy went and gazetted. And then again, on 6th of January 2025, Easy signed a gazette about what you from. So Easy of Ghana, no, a play game be of Ghana, a Ghana from Kedia being a corner. So gazetting of elections or in 2 times. And the NDC candidate, you know. And so, who say 21 days, they say, oh, focus gazette, and then on the 6th of January, then I have 21 days. And the NPP for us to see there be the first gazette, you know. And I think I would start or that 21 days, but me is according to NPP for no. The time on a woman, I read NDC candidate, you know. So that became an issue. And I said, no, a court, Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court decision on the buy and they say, I'm part of NPP for us not to NDC candidate, you know, Emma time every year, no. The pacho Ubia Kajo Ubia say Supreme Court and Kase about to no chrono ne catasician a court so Tamale no Supreme Court never mentioned anything like that. But the Supreme Court was speaking about the procedural irregularities a court within the 21 days now. Want me amfa ame file case, you know. Meaning High Court decision on making and High Court no also omitted the days in Esenka or the receiving assembly edino. That is what they said today. And after court, you know, let's listen to what NPP for Ekai.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, the majority in Parliament say that they would consider the option of a review. They say they disagree with the decision of the court, and it's for one decision. You can come up with review. Review, they will add 2. Therefore, will not change their position to be 4-3 in the likely event. So I think they should just forget about it.
I mean, there are those who say that, and in fact, they say in their press conference that you in the NPP have exhibited.
Who say?
He says when the High Court in Tamale gave that judgment, you were very sad about that, and you actually used language on the judge that they did not agree with. But now you've gotten a favorable judgment and you are singing praises in the Supreme Court.
You see, when it comes to court and the decision goes whether one way or the other, we take a legal route. What we did as a party, we took a legal route, and the court has said us. So that should be it. Thank you very much.
How do you feel about
Well, first of all, let me
Thank you to Almighty God for what He's done in my life, and to also thank my lawyers, and also use this opportunity to thank the Supreme Court judges for the ruling, because it's clear that the people wanted to change the will of the people of Kpandai, but the Supreme Court has affirmed the will of the people, and I'm most grateful to them. I also want to thank the party from the head to the bottom, that is national, regional, and the constituency, for the support they've given me. And the people of Kpandai, I'm sure that when you are in Kpandai today, you will see the joy of the people, because they voted for me and they expected me to serve them for the 4 years. I also want to thank His Excellency, the former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, for the support he's given me throughout. I am most grateful. May God add several years to his current years. And I know by the will of God, he will serve this nation one day. I am very grateful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that is March Nyindam. But some of his colleagues have always been in court, giving him support. Samia Uko is one of his colleagues in Parliament, and he's always been in court. It appears for you this decision of the Supreme Court was expected.
Well, clearly, the NPP's position right from day one was very clear, and our fidelity to the laws of Ghana. We wanted to make sure that the laws were respected and not changed in favor of the strong. We clearly believe that the laws are there. The laws are there to protect both the vulnerable and the strong. The laws are there to protect and also ensure the rights of citizens being protected, whether you are rich or you are poor, whether you are in majority or you are in minority. We found the NDC's conduct and behavior very strange, and it's clearly an act of greed that you have in excess of 180 plus members of parliament, your colleagues on the other side, to checkmate government, to scrutinize policies of government. You are bent on whittling down the numbers so you can have almost a one.
If they so believe that that particular person didn't win, it is their right to.
The reason why you did ask a question. The reason why the NPP, after the High Court case in Tamale, we were very strong on it, was that we clearly believe that the decision of the High Court was perverse and was erroneous, and clearly we believe that something had to be done in the supreme interest of our country, constitutionalism and democracy. The will of the Kpandai people had been expressed on the 7th of December 2024, and people motivated by greed and evil, besides that they want to twist the hands of
I mean, we ought to agree that at this point in time it's been quashed just because of procedural matters. Well, substantively they might have legitimate concerns. There were issues about maize
time bound.
Yes, certainly. So but I mean, the fact that they had a procedural issue wrong doesn't mean that they were. It was greed that actually.
Of their matter, it has no legs to stand on in the legal fraternity and in the laws of our country. Some of the polling stations that ordinarily we were told and made to believe that these were the polling stations in contention, the Tamale High Court then decides to also add additional polling station.
Anyway, one was maybe I'm a taika say so person who's will be any ati and an inti ya with the camera and the microphone sina no. Ube how the parent one will crash in some waka. President, as you are asking, so the will of the people doesn't matter to NPP as long as you rig elections. Now you declare as winner there. That is what they believe in there. That is how democracy needs to go. And the police station be any Kpandai when nipa 1,400 to about so NPP for one any easy to about nipa 1,400. It's me to about one police station. I say return officer na sa abano or this share will be any not to call Warren and no one no. But as well NDC say oh you are some ka we are me the foot to be mammy party NDC for.
Don't see that was the date that members of parliament were gazetted. The EC who said was part of the case was there. He didn't say anything. If we have won, I don't think they would have come to Supreme Court. But they waited. The case was done. They lost. They had to go and pick another case that there was under 24th Gazette. So I have nothing to say. I thank God, thank my supporters, the people of Kpandai. They all know that we have fought a good fight. And we're happy. They didn't say they didn't rig the election. They said we're out of time. And we'll see. We are waiting for the ruling, and we'll take it from there. Thank you very much.
Let me just steal you for a minute. That point that your candidate just makes is very instructive. He says that the court hasn't said that the election wasn't rigged, but that the petition was filed out of time. That is perhaps very serious for you in the NDC.
Of course, that is why I've been saying all along. I am saying that we should not allow people to use technicalities to perpetuate illegality. That's a criminal conduct. What they did was criminal conduct, and we cited them for fraud because the High Court ruling was explicit that you cannot score 1,400 in one polling station, another polling station 1,200. There's no polling station in Ghana like that. The highest you can get is 750. Go and take the Tamale High Court ruling. It's there. 1,400, one polling station, another one, 1,200. This is rigged election. Indian knew this. They don't want to go for appeal because when they go for appeal, they will be shown with this. So they decided to use technicalities. And this one, Electoral Commission, that's what I've been saying. Electoral Commission is virtually becoming an arm of NPP. When they brought the 6th January Gazette, the Electoral Commission was in court with us. They didn't say anything about it. They were quiet, thinking that the High Court judge would dismiss our application based on what they have brought. But when we stood on our ground and then they withdrew that one and filed another one based on their 6th Gazette, the Electoral Commission was quiet. At case management, they didn't say anything. Nobody talked about Gazette. But after the ruling, when they saw that the ruling was enough to quash the election, nullify the election, they quickly ran to Supreme Court with this technicality. The laws have spoken. We respect them. We respect their decision, but we disagree.
Hey, okay. I name it. Say Attorney General so called courts are lose 6-1. NDC more opposition. You are losing cases. Overpower. You are losing cases. Dr. Tau, computer Tango, you knew all these kind of technicalities. So why didn't you file your case on time? Because by the time now, you can't say me now. Now NDC are winning power. We knew say Kpandai issue, no, it will definitely have to go to court. Why didn't you guys do it? Sometimes, Mumu raise the hopes of Wachita fall to some level. And why must I from boom? It doesn't work like that. It's up to you. Send a Motia by NPP for so when you keep saying say, other than NDC, what majority in parliament, but say, I don't get it. Because each political party file 276 nina. Meaning it's also 276 nina and kaupe. So why these kind of things? Anyway, it's up to you. So for this is the debate with the Munufi. I'll be back once again, and then we do justice to every single topic. Ibinya. Medini William Munufi Amankona.